Hi everybody, it's Lois with Lois Keepsakes and Creation. Welcome everybody. I'm so happy to be here. This is a long overdue recording that I promised to put out, but here we are. And today, in reference to, we're going to make the we're going to construct the small square ink storage unit. So I'm super excited about that. I'm ready to move forward. I do want to do a couple of them at the same time, just to give you different perspective of papers. That's all. That's about that it. So anyway, so I have kits available in my Etsy shop right now. They have the laminated sheets. This is what you get. So you get the complete workbook that's already been laminated for you. Okay, so all you have to do is just put it together in a spiral notebook or something like that, you know, or punch holes with it and put rings on it, you know, do whatever you want to do with it. And also in the kit, you also will get your chipboard that has already been glued together and is ready for you to put the paper on the outside perimeter. So this is what you get in your kit, and this is what we're going to start with today and working on constructing it together. So I'm going to get some things together and I'll be right back. Okay, what I've got here is I have a white trim out. I guess that what you want to say is trim for the edges, and then also too I have a black one. Now what I decided to do is use this one as a digital so you can see that one, and then also too for the black one I'm going to use Prima's Amarilla Rose, if you can see that. That's what I'm using. So I've decided to do the edge trimming with the black cardstock. So that was for that reason. Now I finished all of them except for I got one more to put on the big one here. And just in case you didn't know how to put these on or something like that, I'm going to sit here right now and I'm going to help you guys with that. So, let's get my glue. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to finish putting this on. I'm going to do this black one and I'm going to do this white one. And what I like to do is just take my strips and I just start on one side, just gluing it down. Sorry. And then I just place my chipboard on top of it. Now I lay this right directly on top of that scoreboard. I mean, of that scoring. Because if you remember how we do these is that you get your 1-inch strip, you score it 1 inch, and then you score it 1 inch and a quarter. So that gives you a 1/4 inch gusset right here. So if you can see, I put that chipboard directly on that other one, on the first score, if that makes sense. I hope it does. I'm so sorry. Okay, now I have this one right. Okay, so I glued that right on that first score line. So we have a 1/4 inch scoring right in here. So I place this chipboard right on that inside score mark. Okay, so see how we have 2 of them here? And I placed that chipboard right there on top of that score mark. Okay, so once you do that, then I like to just go ahead and take the glue and go ahead and close it up. Make sure I put some glue inside that spine. And then all I'm going to simply do is just roll it like this and then flatten it down and press. And then crease your top. Okay. And then now for the white one. This is going to be so fun. Wait till I show you what the digital is for this one. You are going to be so surprised. Alright, so like I said, I like to put the glue on one side first. Put it right on top of that score. Right on top of it. Just like that. And then press. And it looks like this one did not make it. Okay, hang on. Let me get a new one, because this one is not long enough. Okay, let me find a strip that's already scored. Matches the paper. Alright, so this is what we do. I know this right here, that looks pretty big, so that looks like a 1/2 inch, close to 3/4. So all I'm going to do is just take this glue, and I'm simply just going to put it right here on the card. I mean on the chipboard. Make sure you get plenty of glue on there, because it's messed up from pulling off that other one. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is simply line it up down here. Right on that score. And press. Okay. Where'd that other sponge go? There it is. Okay. Okay. Now, if you can see where I put it right there at that score, I don't know if you can see it coming. It's kind of hard with the white. Can you see it now? Okay. So, alright. So this is the easiest way. So once you get that glued just like that, take your scissors and butt them up right next to your covered chipboard right there. And try not to cut into your white that's already there that was trimmed. So that's all I did. Okay. Alright, so let's get this thing glued down. Are you guys super excited? I am. I love organization. I really, really do. I get into it. I love to organize my space. It makes me really feel kind of cheerful. You know, it gives me lots of inspiration. So I'm super excited about this. I want to see how this turns out, you know, up against like the designer paper or the digital paper. So, okay, so that's it. So we have all of the black covered, and we've got all of the white covered. Let's put our top on. Okay, let's do this. Let's get this together, shall we? Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to pull out both of your G's. You've got 2 of them, and these are your side panels on your box. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to run a bead of glue right here on this edge. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we put it right there on top, the side, to the glue, and we're going to hold it there for a few seconds, okay? So, let's get this started. Now what I'm using in my glue right here, this is art glitter glue. Alright, and I like art glitter glue. It really does make good contact to the paper. stay right there on that side. Try not to get any glue on your outer side. Make sure we don't. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can add some glue to this. I'm having a hard time for my glue to come out. There it comes. And this is going to take a little bit of patience, but once your box is constructed and the side panels are dry, everything else is going to flow into place. So just take your time. Make sure it's nice and set. Give it just a minute to dry. Yeah, I'm using my sponge as a little gather instead of using paper towels. It works out really well, actually. Okay. We want to make sure that stays. Now I'm going to stand it up just for a second. Let me get my board cleaned. Yeah, this little sponge trick really works. I mean, it gets up the majority of all the glue. Okay. Leave it alone. If it tilts a little bit, it's okay. Alright, let's grab the other one. Put the glue right there on top. I'm not going to put glue on the other one. You guys have to excuse my voice. My grandson is sick of something. He has a different voice here lately. So now I think I've catched his cooties. Okay. Okay guys, I'm back. So I've given this some time to dry. So you can see they're on there pretty good. So if yours is like this and it's nice and dry, then we are ready to move on to the next step. Now, before we go any further in the construction, this is probably going to be the time where you're going to want to put your designer paper in, because everything from here is going to have designer paper on it, and we're going to slide it in our shelves. So that way we can just go ahead and do a full panel instead of cutting them up in pieces, you know, as we put our shelves in. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out the designer paper. This one, the white one, is going to be digital. Now, I did go ahead and I did the black, so it's had its time to dry too as well. So we've got a pretty good nice size square, so it should be relatively, you know, looking like a square by now. So I did the black one. It's all ready to go. Here is the shelves, and the shelves are going to fit inside, and they're going to be butted up right next to the side panels there. So that's why we want to go ahead and get this covered up. Now, if you want to, while we're doing the designer paper, we can go ahead and do the designer paper for all the side panels and the back panel. So if you wanted to do that. And then also too, for your shelving, which is number D, you can go ahead and put your designer paper and or your digital paper. You can go ahead and do those too as well. While you're at it, if you want to, you can go ahead and do the rest of the panels, which are your D, which is your shelves. So you can do those front and back if you want to. And as far as like all the other ones too as well, you can go ahead and do all of their papers on them if you want to. So that would be probably a time saver there. So you can just go ahead and put everything, all your designer paper and all of your digital papers. So here's my black one, and then here's my white one. Now, I told you guys that I would be using the Prima Amarillo Rose on this one, and I had a surprise for you guys, what I was going to do for the digital. You're not going to believe it. But look at this. Is that not gorgeous? A piece of material I took out of my stash. I'll let you guys see. But it's really, really pretty. But anyway, what I did was I scanned and I copied it. So I copied it all on, this is 125 pound copy weight paper. I get mine over at Walmart. So, but yeah, that's what I use. But I just simply took this material to my scanner and I just put it over the top of it and I scanned it to the consistency of what I wanted. At first it scanned a little dark, so I was able to go in there and adjust the brightness on it. But I thought it turned out really super cute. So I was thinking, you know how I always said that we can create things around us that bring us joy or happy crafting or whatever, you know. It makes our station look really, really pretty. And it brings out the creativity. Well, you know, if you had like a certain material in your stash that you wanted to incorporate into your craft room, well, simply go and lay a piece of material on your scanner and scan it out, adjust the color or the brightness, and see what you like. And then the next thing you know, just print it out, and now you've got the coordinating paper that might work with your craft studio. So that's what I was trying to say. But I thought it turned out really pretty, and I thought how cool it would be to have this one as the cover for this box, or for this ink station. So that's what I'm going to do. So to save for you guys seeing how I'm doing all the matting, I won't show you that because I think by now, you should know, us crafters know how to do the matting. But I do want to point out though, when matting the inside perimeter on this back panel, inside back panel, you will have to do a dry fit and also trim to cut. So what you're going to do is lay your cardstock right there on the edge, and what you're going to do is make a pencil mark, and then you're going to cut down the length first, okay? And then once you cut down the length, then you're going to slide it back in there, make sure it's fit corner to corner, and then you're going to cut down the height, if that makes sense, okay? So cut down the width first, and then cut down the height, okay? So that's how you'll do that. Now, on the back side over here, this one right here, if, say, like, for instance, all of the rest of them, to know what you're going to be cutting, you can always do a dry fit on these panels. Now, if you're somebody that wants a bit of white showing, then back up your pattern 1/4 of an inch from the bottom corner to where it's 1/4 inch on one side, 1/4 inch on the other side. And then you're going to make a nick at 1/4 away from the edge, and then right up here at the top. And then when you go to cut it out, then it's going to be the perfect measurement all the way around that you can do. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go all the way to one edge and all the way to the next edge, because I want to cover my entire thing. So that's my preference, but you don't have to do it like what I'm doing. And then of course you're going to dry fit the inside panel just like that too as well. And I'm going to go from side to side, completely covering up that whole entire panel. Okay, and you'll do the same thing too as well. And also too, for the designer paper, I think what I want to use is going to be this. I think I want to use this. So what I've done is this pack has not been broken into. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 of the same, and if I had to come up with something else to make sure that it all gets 4 pages covered, and if it doesn't, then I might substitute for something like this. I haven't decided yet, so, but I'm definitely going to do the primary as this page right here. So let me go ahead and take those out, put that away. Okay, so what we're going to do at this point in time, we're going to all turn on some music and go to town matting and get all your pieces glued down. I would ask that if you would use liquid glue at this point, is because when coming to matting with liquid glue to your storage unit, you're going to wind up finding that it has a lot more stability. The glue just adds more as an extra adhesive for hardening, and with it being cardstock too, we'll get a lot more strength out of it too as well. Now I will say that this designer paper does feel a lot thicker than this. So this is probably, I would say, maybe 130 pounds, I would say. But anyway, so yeah, so let's go turn on our favorite music and get all this matted. And in YouTube world, I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, you guys, I had to record this part. I know I just told you guys to cover up your panels. Now, as far as, I just realized this. Now, as far as digital, you can print off as many papers as you want to make the whole entire thing covered. And that's exactly what I'm doing with the white one. But however, as I was thinking, okay, because I've got my panels already covered, and since I only have 4 sheets, I realized that on the black, it's gonna take up almost a whole sheet, because I do want to go from edge to edge. So that's what I want to do. But I just noticed I've probably used, out of the digital, 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4 sheets to go here, 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 and then also here, here, and here. So that would completely cover up my white one. So that I'm okay with, because I think I'm going to go ahead and do the same pattern all the way through. Why not, right? So, but as far as this one is concerned, this one, these are not going to these are not going to be able to stretch. Not for what I'm looking for. I really thought I had it figured out. But what I'm going to do is, I think I am going to cover the whole entire thing inside and out with the pattern paper. And then I think what I want to do is come in here with another design paper from the pack. So I think I might do that. So that's what I'm going to do. So, and of course, you know, I could always do this too as well. So, but but that's what I wanted to let you guys know. So that's my idea for the design paper. So you might want to think that one out for yourself. So, but anyway, I don't have the 12 by 12 in this paper pack. I only got the 8 by 8. So, but anyway, on with the gluing. I'll be back. Okay, y'all. This is what I've come up with so far. Okay, so we went to digital. We matted everything. And designer paper, we had used the designer paper for the secondary color. The primary color is black on this one. So I wanted to catch you guys up to speed as to what I was doing. Now, right here, I will tell you this, that on most of these, I just pretty much, because they were already done, and what I did is I pretty much just put it on the paper, and then I traced it out twice, and then I just glued it on. Okay, now I did do the distressing around on this one, and this one I chose to use the broken china distressed oxide. So that's why these are tinted a little bit of blue. So now that this is all covered, this unit is ready to be assembled. Okay, and when I mean how it's going to be assembled, you're going to be assembling the outside area for your blending tools, and then on the other side you're going to be making a compartment for your blending brushes. So those will be handy for you too as well. So we're going to make this, and then we're going to make this, and this whole component. Now I will say though that in doing this process, it does take days to put this together, just only because you're messing with the drying time. So, but relatively, you know, it's pretty much easy. You just trace out your little templates and put your primary color on, which this one is white, and then you put your secondary on, which is whatever digital or whatever print you use. Now, so this one's all done. Excuse me. So for the designer paper, what I decided to do was on the areas that I knew that was going to be on the outside of the box, I used designer paper, but on the inside of them, well, this one needs another designer paper. Okay. So, but on the inside of them, I decided to go ahead and cover it with my black cardstock. So I left this like it is. Because once you put it inside your little box, I mean, you're really not going to be paying too much attention, because you're going to have your tools that are going to be taking up the area. So you really don't see the designer paper. So that's why I chose just to do the inside black. Now, I'll let you know what I did. Okay, so for this one in particular, all of the D's, like in dog, which is all your shelving, I picked out designer paper for the top, and then as well, I did the black on the bottom. So because, you know, looking inside there, it's just going to be black. Okay, so I thought that would be cool. So You know, that's what I went with. So I did all of the D's, black on one side, black cardstock on one side, and then designer on the other. Okay? Now for B, which are these long strips, these are the ones that go like, how do I want to say it? Where's the B? Like, this is the B. Okay? This panel, and then this panel, and then this one in the front. So you actually have 3. Okay? So what I did is I picked designer paper for the outside, and then I put black cardstock on the inside. So cardstock, designer paper. Okay? Cardstock, designer paper, cardstock, designer paper. So that's what I did for B. And for the A, which you can pretty much figure out, A is going to be the bottom panel to this, and it's also going to be one of these, this one, and then this one right here is going to be the other A. So you actually have 3. Okay? Excuse me. So what I did for these right here is, because these are going to be visibly both ways, I decided to put designer paper on one side and then designer paper on the other. So that's what I did for A. Okay? And I did that 3 times. So we've got designer paper, and then I chose designer paper for the back. Okay? So those are those. And then F is going to be the one that is going to be on the side for the blending brushes. So I just covered this one with the black cardstock because it's going to be inside. And then I just did a cardstock for the outside. Okay? And then this one right here too as well. This one is going to be, this has got to be cardstock because I think, yeah, this one's got to be cardstock. So I got to cut out another cardstock for that one. So, and I'll show you guys how I did that one. So we'll do that one together. Okay, so for the back side, you have the inside panel. And you remember I told you to just do a dry fit. So you put a pencil mark there, put a pencil mark there, or whatever, and then slide it in, and then you cut your top off. Okay, so this is my inside panel. And then for the back, I went on ahead and I chose this print is just because these are going to be my outside panels. Okay, so that's what I did for those. So that's ready to be glued down, and so is this one. But before I glue any of them down, I want to distress them with distressed oxide. And I think I'm going to go with where'd it go? Black soot? Is it black soot? Let me see. Hang on, guys. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so, alright, so what I decided to do is go with the black soot from Ranger Distressed Oxide, black soot. So that's what I went with, yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to distress the edges of my cardstock, just like I did over here with these too as well. And then I'm going to place them down. Okay, so I know I need something for the inside on this one, and I think, let's see what the inside is. Hang on, guys, I got it all figured out. I just need to figure out what the inside C panel is going to be. I think I'm going to go with that print. Alright, so let me get back out my book here that I'm working with. Ooh, don't put that there. Alright, so let's pick out an inside. See, I have some leftovers right here. So, nope, nope. I think it was this one. You know what? We'll just go with one of those roses. We'll go with this one on the inside. Oops, put these back. Excuse me. Okay, so basically what I did is after you got your edges all covered, I just set it here on my designer paper. Now, remember I said I'm going edge to edge. You don't have to go edge to edge. You can actually back off just 1/4 of an inch on both sides, or 1/8 of an inch here, 1/8 of an inch here, and then draw your pencil mark, and then when you get to place it, it's going to be 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Okay, I hope that made sense. But I'm going to go edge to edge, and all I do is just draw just like this, and then I move it over, and then so forth, so forth. But I already have one for the outside, and I did notice this one was a little bit bigger than what I want. And see, it's like 1/8 of an inch off. Okay, so let me cut these and I'll be right back. Okay, got them cut. So this is the outside. Now I got to be careful because this is a directional paper, so I've got to make sure that when I add it to my box that I'm putting this designer paper in a directional way that it needs to go. So, and as far as this one too as well, that's the inside panel. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and distress all my edges, and I probably should just go ahead and glue them. You know, why not? So why don't I do that? I'll go ahead and distress them, and then once I get them all glued down, then I'll come back and I'll show you the results, and it's going to be similar to this, and then we're going to start putting this together. So let me do that, and I'll be back in YouTube world in 2 seconds. Okay, everybody, I've got all of my stuff matted like I wanted. These are the inside shelves. These two are the B's that are for the side panels. Okay, and then these are the A for the outside boxes and for the tool tray. And then these are the outsides. So, with that being said, I hope you guys are to this point. I know it seems like forever that we started this project, but to be honest with you guys, it turns out to be so beautiful, and I'm so happy to share it with you guys. Alright, so for the bottom, okay, so this is what our box looks like. Okay, and now for the first shelf that we're going to put in, you're going to put the black towards the bottom. Well, I am anyway. You may have something that would be digital like this, so what much matter. And now what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze this in. Now this becomes the outside perimeter, and then the shelf goes on the inside, and you'll have to squeeze it really good so that way you can get good contact, but it should be just like this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to apply glue back here in the back, and we're just going to get started in putting this together. Now this has dry, you have to do this in drying stages, so just know though, once we get done, it is going to be solid as a rock. So what I'm going to do is I'm carefully going to put some glue back here in the back. Now I know this is not squeezed in all the way anyway. See that? Look what I just did. Okay, so let's do this. Let's put some glue right here on the edge. And just like that. You just want to get a good enough coating to where you know that this is going to stay. I'm trying not to get my head in the way. Alright, so like I said, this is going to go on the inside, and this is going to go right up against the back side. So if you could see where I've got the glue, you need to make sure that this bottom shelf stays right up next to that side right there. It'll make sense once it all dries. You'll be able to get it in there. But it's supposed to fit real snug. And what I'll probably do is I'll just hold this for a second. Make sure we get plenty of glue right there. Oops. Okay. Get my little sponge here. Okay. You just want to keep pressure on it until it winds up gluing real good. Now don't worry about this white, I'm using actually art glitter glue, but don't worry about that because it will get covered. I mean, it will dry clear. Bloopers. So once you get that back piece really good and dry, this is going to take time, guys, so this isn't going to dry like really fast completely, but you'll get the gist of it, and just take your time. So I'm going to set that to a side for it to dry, and then I'll grab our digital one, and we will grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure I got the same heights, because letter F is in fun. That one is about the same size as the shelf, so you want to make sure that you get the right shelves. Alright, so I'm going to do this one. Now this one is, it doesn't matter which way you put it, because all of it is just digital paper. Now, and also too, if you guys find that this has like a little bevel to it, just straighten it out a little bit and it should go right back into formation. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my glue to the bottom here. Just like this. Alright. Oh gosh, I saw on Facebook some of you guys are getting snow if you're here in the US. Oh goodness, it looks like a lot of snow. A lot of snow. We haven't had snow here in like 2 years. So, which is very unusual. Alright. Now we're going to place this one right here. Right there on the bottom. Right there on the bottom. That's all you need to do is just sit there and hold it in place just for a few seconds, just so that it can dry in a good spot. Because don't forget, we got to add feet to the bottom, so we need this bottom area to be as smooth as possible. So, but we'll get this to dry just like that. Now I will, let's see, yes, so let me let this dry for just a few minutes, and once I get it to dry, then I'll come back and then we'll do the rest of it. We can go ahead and put our our blending brushes together. Y'all look how dirty that thing is. This is what I'm using to mop up some of the glue that's excessive. Alright, so what this does is your bee is going to go just like this. Okay? Just like this. Okay? And I like the dimension, so don't worry about if your bee is not taller than this. I need to make sure. Yep. Because see here, see the difference right here? So this is definitely, these are D's, and then this is F, this is G. Alright, I hope the music's not too loud, y'all. I cannot stand to be in this craft room and it be so quiet. So quiet. Sorry about that, I was moving my trash can. Alright, so what we're going to do is just going to piece this together. So these are going to be your sides, and then this is going to be your bottom. So it should go on. Let me see if this is the way that it's going to go. Nope. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you guys have like extra paper on the end, like as if I do, what I do is I take, and let me put my needle back in my fine tip. What I do is I just take my craft knife or my breakaway knife and I just go right in there and I pull that away. Just like that. Because you don't want these to become a problem where you can't get your sides adjusted because of the overhang of the paper. And just do it like that. Alright. So yes, if you have these little pieces sticking off, just trim them off with your knife. Like I can see this one right here. Just like that. Make sure you don't get too close to where you wind up cutting in, excuse me, cutting into your chipboard. So, I'll just go back in there and do that. Make sure all my sides are pretty good. Oh, there goes a little bit of this one. Okay. Alright. So, how is everybody today? We are Friday night here at our house. We're going to be watching the fight going on. So, the wrestling match, wrestling fight, whatever it is. Oh, so let's see. Let's get these on here just like this. And we want to make sure that our bottom goes on just like this. Let's get this glued together. I'm going to put a generous amount right here on this side. No, I just, hang on. Alright, here we go. Now, just put this at the very bottom. Line it up side to side. And just keep it on there just like this. And just hold it for a few seconds. Okay, that should dry just like that. Now let's grab let's see, we got F. This is the outside panel, this is the inside. And I'm going to do just like this with this one. I really do like the designer paper on these. Excuse me. And then we'll do it like this. And just hold it just like this. And then once it gets stability where it's going to be drying in place, then we'll move on to the next step. Voila. Okay, so now we have this goes together. These are outside panels. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with my throat. I apologize. I don't mean to be making all this noise. Okay, so then this one is going to go over here, and then this one's going to go on the outside. Okay, but I want these to dry really good, so let's just wait a few minutes and get this to dry really good. And then after we get done with that, once the bottom dries, then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so this is the blending brush compartment, and I've already had this glued, so it's pretty much almost dry, and I did the same for the other side too as well. So I will say though that if you add just a bit more glue in there, and that way so it secures it a lot better. So, and also too, I put glue on the back side so that way it had good stability. So it's pretty much dry. I mean, it's not square yet, but you know what, once you put on your sides it will be squared. So I need to make sure that I put this in the right upright, how do you want to say it? The designer paper has to be sitting upright for this one anyway. But so let's put this one together. Let's see. Y'all, I apologize. My recordings are just absolutely horrible. I don't know what to say anymore. My words stumble over the top of me. So I think I speak before I think. That's what my husband always says. I don't think enough before I speak. So I'm trying to get my words to come up right with you guys. So if you have any questions, you guys, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll be glad to help you guys with that. Now, if you see, I've got a generous amount on this. If you could see, that's a lot of glue, okay? But that's okay because this is all gonna dry. Now, you don't want to put any on the back side. You just want to put some on the front. Now, I'm gonna go to this corner, and I'm gonna add this. Okay. And this is why I got the protecting coating, or the protecting mat underneath me. So that way, just in case any glue seeps out, we can clean it up without making a mess. Alright, so push that together, allow that to dry, and I'm going to do the same thing for this side without getting glue everywhere. You know me and my glue. Isn't this not beautiful though, sitting on your desk? I mean, it brings such great creativity. And not only that too, you know, for the longest time until I come up with the solution of the display of my art, not just the display, but just to have it handy. I mean, it comes in handy sitting right here on your desk. So that way, if you're working with multiple colors and say your mini album or whatever you're using, I mean, it does come in handy that it's right here. Used to before, I used to have these sitting in like a storage bin, like those tower storage bins. But I used to have them sitting in a drawer, so I never could, how do you want to say it? I never switched out colors as good as I should have, because they were always stuck in a drawer, so I really very seldom ever use them. But now that they're here in front of me, I think it's amazing. Why not, right? We need anything to do with creativity. Alright, so you seen me put that together, not very hard. And we'll let this one dry. And now we'll put this one together. Alright, so what you saw was the inside of this box is going to be black. So for this one, that's going to be the digital paper. So let's get this one put on. Put it right here at the side. And right here. Take your time, guys. Don't get into a rush. You know, as you've come to find that this has a lot of drying time that you have to do in order to make this. But I think it goes with just about anything that you make when it comes to scrapbooking. You have to have, you know, drying time to do things. So I'm going to put this one on. Put it up right next to it so I could pick it up without getting glue everywhere. And squeeze. Squeeze together. And give that some time to dry. You know, you don't want to move things too much, because then, you know, you want to make sure that you get everything right. Alright, so I'm going to let that dry. Now, I got a problem down here at the end, and I can't move it to show you, but my side panel is not lining up very much down here at the bottom. So I guess we got, like, how do you want to say it? A hole in the roof? I guess that's how you say it. So let me glue this together. There we go. Right next to it. Slide it up. Come on. And there we go. Make sure your bottom is even. Okay. Now we'll move over to this one. Now I already did this one, so this one's almost dry. Almost dry, so, but we'll get this one drying. Now this is what I was talking about when putting in your extra glue. All you have to do is just go right here into the bottom, and you're just going to run a bead of glue all the way up to the sides, just like this, because you want that glue to dry up to where it's going to be nice and snug, where you won't have, like, what I would say, a hole in the roof. And then we're just going to keep on going just like this. I know it seems silly that, oh my God, Lois, you're putting a bunch of glue, but I'm actually cleaning up as I go. Okay, and then get that done, that done. All right. Just clean up any of the excess mess, excess glue. Now, when I'm moving this glue, I want to make sure that there's no air pockets. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. My camera just died, so I had to change the batteries. Okay, so now that we have these two put together, so let's move these to the side so they have plenty of time to dry. So now let's go, let's see, shall we start with this or shall we put the panels together that will be holding our blending brushes? So, or the blending tools. So that's upright, this is upright, this is upright. So I think what I did is this is going to be for my bottom. So I'm going to make sure this is on the outside, this is on the inside, and if I've covered everything correctly, and then I have that one. So then I have this one, which is the outside. This is covered both ways. And then these are your shelves. So we're going to be making this compartment right here. So we're going to put this together. This is sitting over to the side over here drying. Okay, so we're going to put this together and let it dry. And then I think maybe we could possibly move over to the box. Alright, let's put this together. So this is going to be glued up here because this is going to be the bottom shelf. And then this is going to go back here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to measure, or you could measure it if you want to, but the other part is going to be this shelf. And then this is going to fit in here just like that. So this is going to be where you're going to store your blending brush. So, alright, so that being said, alright, let's add this one. We're going to go here. Don't mind me, y'all. I'm talking to myself. I'm working it out. Got to get all these pieces. They'll fit in just perfectly. You just got to be patient. And then we're going to put this together. Just like this. And you'll want to hold it there for a minute. Just allow that to set up for just a second. And then this is going to go on the outside. And then we'll have another shelf to go on the inside. Okay? And that'll go up just like that. Okay? So, let's put this one together. Make sure I get it right. Just like this. Just like that. And then we'll cover this up on the edge. And then the long side. And then alright. Alright, there we go. And then you'll bring it up right next to it. And this should be a piece that goes on the outside of this one panel. Okay? Hold it there nice and snug. Because you want to give it a few minutes just to set up. Make sure you have a good nice square, because this part's going up against the box. Then just give it a little press and then let it glue. Okay? Alright, we're getting there, you guys. We're almost done. We are almost done. I'm going to let this dry for just a few minutes. It's trying to stick on my board underneath. Okay. And then this is going to go up top, just like this. And then this one over here is going to go in just like this. Okay? So, let's let that dry for a second. And instead of y'all waiting around for me to get dried, I think I'll shut off it for right now and wait for these pieces to get really good and dry. So, because I don't want to keep messing with it, then it's just going to be out of frame, if that makes any sense. So, so I'm thinking about you guys, making some of these up and selling them in my Etsy shop. So, because, you know, I would say probably this being a little bit on the difficult side to make. So for a lot of you that don't think that you can make them, but you love it and you want to have one for yourself, I think that once I get done with these, I'm going to put them in my Etsy shop and we'll see what happens, right? So, I'm trying to clean my needle, y'all. I got glue on it. Glue clogged on my needle. Alright, so let me get this dry and then I'll come right back. I'll be back.